Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, May the 29th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and it looks like we're in for a summer-like week ahead of us, including a summer-like Memorial Day. Sun rising over Trussville, and we're seeing some clouds, but it's a beautiful shot with what appears to be either altocumulus clouds or perhaps some very high cirrocumulus clouds. But anyway, there are clouds up there. Fayette, we can see the clouds off in the distance, and they look a little bit more like high clouds, but certainly a beautiful morning. And then Cheehaw, we can just see the clouds. The camera pointed a little bit high, it looks like, but certainly a beautiful shot up there. On the surface map this morning, the primary feature is high nosing in across the southeastern U.S. and keeping everything at bay. Of course, in the upper atmosphere, we're dealing with a very strong, very large ridge that is going to be the main feature, and that is acting like a shield to keep everything away from us. In the meantime, the country is turning warm. Look at all that yellow. The yellow is 60 and above, and by gosh, I mean, I'd say right now it's like about 50% of the country looks like it's 60 or above. And remember, these are 5 a.m. temperatures. Across central Alabama, we're generally a little higher than that. We're actually dancing just a little below 70 degrees. Already temperatures getting a little too warm in the morning for me. I'd like to see at least getting a little cooler so we start the day off a little nicer. The QPF, or Quantitative Precipitation Forecast, pretty much tells the story. All the rain across the northern tier of the United States as a ridge is going to be building in and keeping the southeast quadrant of the country pretty dry. Storm Prediction Center, of course, outlooking a large slight risk area extending from the western sections of New York across the southern portion of the Great Lakes and the Chicago area back into South Dakota. And not much changing with that. Also a small slight risk area in western Oklahoma and western Texas. And not much is going to be changing in that forecast with much of the westerlies much further north. The 06Z GFS model run. Here's our surface map for today, and once again you see the high nosing in across the southeastern U.S. from the Atlantic. We're going to stay with the upper atmosphere because that pretty much tells the story. 594 contour builds in strongly on Monday, so look for a rather warm day. I'd say we're going to get into probably 94, 95, maybe even 96 degrees in some spots. Tuesday, more of the same. The ridge continues to hold very strong. In the meantime, all the action out to the west and to the northwest of us with two strong short waves and closed lows, one moving through North Dakota and the other coming in on the northwest coast of the United States. The high center moves or kind of migrates and moves to the west and centers itself over Texas. And yeah, there's some possibility the GFS is suggesting we might see a few showers, but I just think that the upper ridge is going to hold so strong that we're not going to see much in the way of showers. We see the ridge again kind of building back into the central part of the country on the 2nd of June. 3rd of June, the ridge very strong. Once again, could an air mass thunderstorm in the heat of the day develop? Well, it's possible, but I'm just not looking at much in the way of rainfall coverage. Kind of an interesting little pattern here on the 4th, Saturday, and but still the ridge holding very, very strong and everything moving off to our north. Ridge really expands on Sunday, a week from today. This is the 5th of June, and covering, gosh, 2/3 of the country, so a big ridge. Extending out into Voodoo country, and there is still just like yesterday, so the trend is still there, and that's a good sign. But here's the 9th of June, and there's a trough coming through the eastern half of the country, so it looks like the GFS is suggesting the ridge will break down. I'm a little... I like the fact that the trend has been there for 2 days now, but it kind of worries me because that's a big old ridge to have to break down. And then finally, way out at the end of the period, the 13th of June, and guess what? Yep, the ridge is back, and everything being shunted very far away from us. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Weather Extreme video. I expect to have the next one posted on Monday morning around 7:30 or 8. There'll only be one a day for the upcoming week as James Spann is on vacation, and I'll be filling in for him as best I can due to some travel plans of my own. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday and all the preparations for Memorial Day tomorrow. And be safe and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.